Hi friends, welcome back to Calm in the Chaos Homeschool. If you're new here, my name is Davine, and today I'm going to be talking about my 4th and 5th graders' independent work. So this term has gone pretty well. We did have, I would say there was a rough patch in the middle of the term, but really so far so good. I do feel like my boys are slowing down a bit on their work. My youngest especially, he was able to zip through work, and I feel like he's getting more distracted and just not really focusing as well as he was at the end of the year. Probably normal, but we're just spending more time to do the same amount of work. So that's not super fun, or it's not super fun to have to be working later into the day because we're daydreaming or doodling or things like that. So I feel like some of that is a bit of habit training. When we first started homeschooling, that was happening a lot and we kind of got out of it. I tried to break the habit of just not paying attention, right? Building the habit of attention, as Charlotte Mason talks about. And maybe we've gotten out of that habit. I haven't been sitting beside him making sure he's not doodling. I think I just need to be more intentional on that. So that's just something we're dealing with right now. Overall, the term has gone well. We are at about 12 weeks right now, and so that is the end of our term 1. I have 3 terms in the year, so this is our term 1 update. So it wasn't that long ago where I actually put up my 4th and 5th graders' work, so it's going to be a lot of the same. I'm going to be updating you on how things are going and what we're thinking of each curriculum so far. So hopefully I have enough different things to tell you in this video than the one that you saw maybe a few weeks ago if you were looking at my curriculum picks videos. But let's get started. So first of all, every day at 8:45, we do our devotions. So my boys are using this Conquer One Day Daily Devotions, and they can usually do 1 or 2 a day. Overall, it's been going well. We don't have the same version as what they have here, and I'm not sure what version they use. So that can cause a little bit of frustration for them sometimes. But overall, they like it. So we are on about week 7 of this. They have 360 of these, so it will last us longer than a year. But that's what it looks like, just little activities each day, and it's going pretty well. So that's what we're doing for our personal devotions. So for our language arts, we are still working on language lessons for the elementary child. My youngest son is doing 3 lessons every time we do this, and my older son is doing 2 lessons because he has some other language arts that he does. I'm still really enjoying this. The lessons are super short, super simple. So for example, lesson 1 looks like this. It's a picture study and you answer questions, and that's the end of the lesson. Lesson 2 was a creative writing. Lesson 3 was observation and narration, and then a whole bunch of lessons for copywork. So it is very, very basic, very simple. I like it as the basis of our language arts. I like it because it doesn't do too much of anything. It is very simple and very easy to complete. So we only do it maybe twice a week or 3 times a week. And like I said, the younger one does 3 lessons and the older one does 2. And it's very easy to complete those lessons in a short amount of time. That being said, we will probably finish this, especially my younger son. He will be finishing this in the next few months, and then we'll be moving into the next one, in which case I will be slowing it down a bit. But for now, this is working for us at that pace. My oldest son, who's doing 2 lessons each time, it'll probably be pretty close. We might be finishing this towards the end of the year. I did go ahead and purchase the next books, but we'll see if we get there or not. So that is going well. I do recommend this if you're looking for something that touches all of the parts. I would say minus spelling. It doesn't have spelling, but some kids, I don't feel like they need spelling. Copy works enough. So I really love this as a basis. So my older son, he is the one that needs a little more extra stuff when it comes to certain things. So for spelling, he is still working on book 2, level B of this, and we are getting close to the end. We're on lesson 33, so we have 3 more weeks, and then we'll be moving into C. I continue to like spelling UC. It has worked probably the best between my older struggling speller and this son here. I feel like we're seeing improvement. Writing for him is really challenging. You will see that this is 5th grade and he doesn't have the best handwriting. It is hard for him to write, but I do feel like over time with copy work and things like this, he's been able to get a little more fluent. He can write a few more sentences without falling to pieces. And so what we're actually going to be working on, maybe, I don't know if it's 2nd or 3rd term, I'm going to start some more writing instruction, some more specific writing instruction. For now, we do a lot of copy work and occasionally a sentence or two, but we don't do really big writing projects. So that's something I want to start in the next few months, I would say. So working on that for spelling, you see. The other thing that both of my boys do is explode the code. My youngest he is at book 8. He just started book 8. This is the last of the Explode the Code books. I love these books. If you don't have a spelling program, you could just use Explode the Code, use the words that they give. They are very systematic. They teach different phonics rules. They review over and over again. They start from very simple in the lesson, like circle the word, and then they work slowly to spelling the word based on pictures and things like that. So I really love Explode the Code. We have been using it since we first started homeschooling. There's not a lot of things that I can say that we've used since the very beginning, but Explode the Code is one of those things, and I haven't ever stopped it until the student has completed book 8. So he is working on book 8 and he will be done pretty soon. Now, my older son, he does struggle more with phonics, with spelling and things like that, so he is doing the half levels as well. So he is starting 5 and a half. So if you're not familiar with Explode the Code, they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And the 5 would be the same stuff as 5 and a half. 5 would teach all of the same things. 5 and a half is just going through it again with extra practice. So he does all of the halves. And if you're wondering how much Explode the Code a child can do, because it's like 90 pages, 100 pages, 120 pages, my children usually do between 2 and 3 books a year. So we might do it 2 or 3 times a week, 2 pages each time, and they usually can do 2 or 3 booklets a year. So that's kind of the pace that we've gone at, and I only make my more struggling students do the half, so he's doing the halves, but he didn't do the halves. He just did all of the plain numbers. I think once you get to 7, there's no 7 and a half, it just goes to 8, and then there's no 8 and a half, so at that point you're done. But yeah, so Explode the Code, I really do recommend that, still working for us, and it's quite independent in general. So I really love it as just work that they can do without too much help from me. So the last thing that we do that would be in this language arts category is handwriting. We use the Good and the Beautiful handwriting. My youngest is starting level 4, I believe, and my older one is redoing level 3, which is where they introduce cursive. He is actually doing really great this second round. Last time I had to do highlight. I had to highlight all the letters for him to copy. This time he's just writing it on his own. So he's doing a lot better this time through. So if that's something that your student struggles in, I would suggest just doing it again. It's a lot of fun. The Good and the Beautiful handwriting is a lot of fun. My kids don't mind it at all. No one complains about doing it. That's also something that we did pretty much since the beginning, and all of my kids do the Good and the Beautiful handwriting. So I do recommend that if you're looking for a good handwriting program. I just wanted to jump in here to let you know that I am currently having 20% off everything in my Etsy shop. I have a bunch of advent calendars, I have Christmas coupons, I have homeschool planners, I have activities, I have Bible study journals, things like that. So if you're interested in any of those things, take a look at my shop. I will link in the description box below a link to my shop, and for all of November, I have 20% off everything in the store. So let's go back to math. Both of my boys are doing teaching textbooks Math 4. And I'm showing you this book because we use this book. That was something that I had to learn last year, probably 2/3 of the way into the year. My boys do not want to write down the problems. So getting this book, I think you can buy this book. I'm not sure how my parent partnership program got it, but I had them get it for me. But if you get the book, they still do it on their tablet, but the lesson is here in print and the problems are all here, and they don't have to write out, like for example, this. So they don't want to write that out. they want to just guess if they have to write it. So this helps a lot, I think, especially for those kids who are more reluctant to write so much. This has been great. So they always answer their questions in here as they're answering their questions, they're entering it on their tablet. And this has caused a lot less frustration for us for teaching textbooks. So this is our, I guess my boy's second year with teaching textbooks. At this point, we're on lesson like 30, 31. I've heard that the first 30 lessons are reviews, so we're not getting into the new stuff yet. So far things are going great, very minimal frustration. I really hope that teaching textbooks works for my kids, because with 4 kids, I just cannot mark all their work, all their math work all the time. So I have 1 student who I have to mark their work for or sit with them while they're doing math. So I'm hoping my other 3 will be okay with teaching textbooks, at least for a while. Because my younger son does not have things like spelling, I've added a few more fun things for him to do this year. So the first thing he's doing is Across the USA activity book, and he really enjoys this. He never complains when it's time to do it. I basically have him set the timer for 15 minutes and he can pick whichever page he wants to do and work on that. So he has really enjoyed this. If your kids like the United States and things like that, I do recommend this book. And then the other thing that he does every so often is this do-it-yourself curriculum with Minecraft. And essentially you pick your own books. You pick your own books that you want to study, and then it's just guided research. So he picked one of the books, he read about certain things. They throw in Minecraft stuff, of course. He's really into Minecraft right now. So far we haven't gotten too far in here. That's one of the pages he did. We haven't gotten too far in here. Like, this is a huge book. If you get this, it's meant to be your full curriculum, and we're just using it as an add-on. But so far he really enjoys it. He loves it when he gets to get that or that out to do. And we just have things in like a rotation. So I'm going to actually show you what that looks like. So it's printed a little funny here at the top, but this is what our independent work checklist looks like. And so each day, we have a 4-day week in general. Anything we don't finish just gets moved to Friday. And so we have our devotions, we have our teaching textbooks, we have his Explode the Code, he has handwriting every day, and then he has his loop schedule. So he does spelling UC, he has code.org. So code.org is a computer, it teaches you how to do coding as well as computer safety and things like that. It gives you little coding tasks where you have to figure out the instructions to make something do what it tells you to make it do. So it's actually a lot of logic, and that's been really fun for both the boys. They really enjoy it. And it's actually quite challenging once you get further into it and they have these kind of puzzles. So they're like logic puzzles. So I do recommend looking up code.org if you want some logic puzzles for your kids or your kids to learn coding. It's been lots of fun. And then they have Time for Math Facts. So Time for Math Facts is just math skills. They have games. Right now they're working on addition and subtraction facts. Hopefully we'll finish that this year and we can move into multiplication facts. But it's just it used to be called reflex math. So it's just trying to get those reflexes so that they know the answer to the addition and subtraction facts really fast. So there's a bunch of games that they work on with that. That's been something we've been doing this is our second year that I've paid for it, and we have also used it in the past. So a great program. And then the next day he would have spelling UC, language arts, 2 lessons, Time for Math Facts, and then he has handwriting. Okay, so that somehow accidentally got on there. I took handwriting off and put it up on the top because he needs to do that more often. Oh, then we have Miacademy. So I have a whole video about Miacademy if you want to check it out. I'll put it in the description box below. Basically, it's a full online curriculum for, I believe, 7th or 8th grade and under. So that's something that they do for fun, supplementarily, I don't know, is that a word? Every so often. And the last thing that I didn't show you here is they also do typing every so often. So we do typing.com right now. Typing Club is also a great free typing program. If you want your kids to learn typing, both of those are really great. They are enjoying typing.com. Both of them really like it when it's their turn to do that. And we just do it in a loop. So for example, here's Logan's loop. And so I just go ahead and I have things happening in a certain loop, and then I go ahead and I plan ahead. So I write down all the pages I want to be doing for those things. And then when it's time to plan my week, I just put it into the loop subject area and we just go through a loop. So this is just a new one that I printed off recently. I just did this recently. Every so often I update how often things happen on the loop, depending on how much we're getting done, how far we've gotten in certain things, how much emphasis I want to put on certain things during that period of time. So thanks for joining me today. If you like videos like this, don't forget to give me a like and subscribe and hit the bell notification so you're notified of when future videos are up. My next video is going to be my 6th and 7th graders independent work, how things are going there. So don't forget to stick around for that. Thanks for coming today, and I hope to see you in my next video. Goodbye, everyone.